Good evening and welcome to the spring performance of the Wind Ensemble. Thank you so much for coming out and seeing what our students can showcase. I see we're a little lighter on crowd today, so we will have this live streaming available on YouTube as well, so those who couldn't make it can definitely catch up and hear this. This is a very challenging concert, per their request. Probably one of the most collectively difficult concerts I think I've done in my whole million years here. So we have some really good music to play for you, so I'm excited for you to hear it. The first tune we're gonna open up is Nobles of the Mystic Shrine. This is by John Philip Sousa, one of his famous marches. He's pretty much the march king, so he made famous many military marches and made that genre famous for concert and wind ensemble. So this is also a very challenging one of the most difficult marches we've done, but I think the students have done a very good job rising to the occasion. So it's Nobles of the Mystic Shrine. Our next selection, called Urban Scenes, is kind of a different style than we typically hear us play. This is a depiction of the various sights and sounds and experiences that one would experience through living in a city. Or so we have the sunrise, a church scene, the hustle and bustle of the city, traffic, and then sunset. I think I said all of them right. Yes, okay. Up next, we'll be performing the Mexican national anthem. So this was something that was put out to the population to have a contest to come up with this tune. So someone wrote the lyrics that they liked, and then they found someone to set the tune to it, and that won and became the song that was used. So they've had months and months and months to work on this one, so this should be okay. I gave it to them this morning, literally, so it was a secret trip practice we're sneaking in, but they're doing a good job just to get that out of the way. So this is the Mexican national anthem. We're transitioning, some clarification on that. We have an incredibly involved group of students. They all do literally everything. So with our trip coming up, it was just very difficult to schedule practices. So I figured this is a tune we're gonna play there. This is a great time to put some fire to learn it fast. And they rose to the occasion very well. So I'm proud of them pulling that off this fast. And I know it'll sound great when we get to Kings Island next weekend and play it there too. So good work on that. Up next, we have the Star Wars epic. So if you're a fan, you will recognize these tunes from 90s or so, 99 it says here. So I was like 7 or something, but middle school. I don't know. I was young, but I do remember this. So this arrangement is, I would say, very, very close, less the string section. But Ryan Delaney, actually, I think him and maybe Joey found this piece. It's been probably one of the trickier ones, especially the third movement you hear it. But I think you'll be very thrilled and recognize some of these familiar tunes. So this is Star Wars Epic, Part 1. close our concert tonight with Finale from Symphony Number 3. This is a tune I've always wanted to do, especially with organ that I just like listening to. And if you've seen, I don't know if any of you are old enough to have watched Babe like years ago, the one with the pig, but this is kind of the tune they based a lot of that movie on, so it should sound pretty familiar. My program correction, this is actually Ms. Hildak playing the organ, so she has stepped in for us today because our organist could not make it. So this is Ms. Hildak's final year. Hopefully she'll play for some other years too, but her final wind ensemble will come to concert too, so thank you for playing organ for all these years with us and accompanying us. So yeah, we can cover that. So perhaps we'll see her around as just an accompanist or something in the future. So we haven't discussed it, but maybe. All right, here's Symphony Number 3, our finale from Symphony Number 3, featuring pipe organ. Thank you so much for coming, and they did an excellent job playing for that. I can tell they are beat. That was some really, really challenging music, and they really rose to the occasion. So you can find recording of this on the band Facebook, if any of you are following that, or on our YouTube. And I also posted this on the band app, so you can go back and share and reference and whatever have you from there. Just a reminder that we need to tear down tonight. We have jobs scripted out, so this should go pretty quickly. So as long as everyone's doing their part, which they always do. So we'll get loaded up, and then we need to unload at the school. We're not going to unpack or set the room up or anything, but just to get this stuff out of here for tomorrow since they are closed. All right, thanks again for coming, and just bear with us while we get this transition done.